Everybody, welcome. Northern Line, Trackmania, track of the day. Track of the morning to you laddies. One of these days we're going to get that right. It's going to be seamless. Like a chrome sphere. Anyway. Get it? We'll send the carrier pigeon to Trackmania HQ. They will return to us post-haste with a printed out dot matrix list of the results from yesterday and how we can do today. I do have some spoilers about today's track because I peeped my Discord. It is a 50x second lap, so a little bit on the longer side, but it seems general if you dip your finger in the water and take your temperature, or take the temperature of the of how people like the course. They seem to like it a lot. So, you know, step one is always, we got author yesterday, that's 2 in a row. Top 7 in BC yesterday, no complaints whatsoever. Oh my god, someone got a 23.6, that's crazy. Top 102 in the egg carton is honestly pretty good. You gotta remember, I think we made the egg carton on this day or this day. Actually, no, it was before that. Maybe it was for Hanging Gardens. Or I guess it would only make sense that it's for Joyride, right? So I think that, like, we had a huge amount of, like, low, and then an explosion of people, and now it's starting to level out a little bit. Anyway, today, sand drift. I did receive a comment. It was the top comment on the last video. It was from a Trackmania expert. It said, NL, you're not drifting right. It is not drifting when you see 2 tire marks. It is drifting when you see 4 tire marks. I think this is incredibly valuable intel. You know what? I got an idea. Let's follow the GPS here. Schumacher following the Ferrari. Oh, you're going, I see, you're tangential to the curve. Oh, a little bit of a drift there. There's some time we can make up from the author medal. This is not a perfect lap. Okay, that seemed appropriate. A little bit of time in the air. Obviously, we definitely want to spend less time in the air as well. It's come up a lot, but it's not always easy with some of the obstacles they give you. Okay. I mean, it seems tough but standard so far, except for that, like, the first corner is a little bit nasty. You gotta jump there. You'll probably hit the brakes quite hard just to make it through there. Not ice, just very slick concrete. Little rear-wheel drive drift there. Little rear-wheel drive drift there, and there you are. 55-second lap. Okay. You know how it goes. It'll take us some time in order to sort this out. The longer a track is, the longer it takes for us to understand what we're going for. The longer it takes us to piece out these elements. I thought we did really well yesterday, though. I thought we, given the mimetic nature of yesterday's track, I thought we did a pretty good job. Okay, so you probably in the future you're going to want to hit the brakes on that one, but we're just doing we'll call it a test run for now. I did see that Macros, noted VIP in chat, also member of the egg carton, got like a 52-second time today. Typically in Trackmania, I would say he's a little bit consistently above me, but that's a time that we can shoot for as like an aspirational goal. Obviously this isn't going to help us out too much. But again, this is our preview window. This is our 30-day free trial of this track before we have to give Bob Iger, I think that's how it's pronounced anyway, our credit card number. You know what? I think that's a heavy restart. We didn't accomplish too much there. So what did I learn? We honestly owe it to ourselves to be a little heavier on the brakes. And I think we kind of learned that on yesterday's track. Well, actually, it was the day before's track, but we kind of learned that, you know, like, fast is fast, but the second fastest is slow. Definitely gave up some time there. That's okay. Try not to turn on the dirt. You want to stay straight on the dirt because you're losing a lot of speed. Just due to the dirt-like nature of it. I know, NL, you have such a way with words. That's why we love watching these videos. Okay? Come over this one. I think this was, no, this is not heavy brake. This is heavy brake. You know what's funny? I think this is just true in general. When you watch the Ghost go through this track... That's okay. That was a much better lap. When you watch the Ghost go through this track... You're like, oh my god, they're going so fast. When I watch me go through, I'm like, I'm not... It doesn't feel that fast at all. Then again, we were also 1 minute and 7 seconds there, which is incredibly slow. I feel like this is maybe, like... We lost some speed somewhere that we would have preferred to keep. There's some speed you don't mind losing. I think we minded the speed we lost. This is okay, because this is... We're in big don't sweat it hours right now. Where the central concern that we have... Don't mind the monitor shaking. That's just my cat jumping around on some furniture here. Because our big concern is just, you know, iterating upon the algorithm. That's what I mean when I said we lost speed, by the way. Like, I didn't clip a wall there on my previous run. But somehow I just, you know, I lost, like, throttle or something. Oh, you know what? I think I gave up the throttle in the air, and that's what slowed us down. Now, that corner is just consistently terrible for us, so we'll work on that for sure. Try to avoid the dirt. Well, wherever possible. And then, alright, so we were still a little slower there, but it's a learning process. This is definitely one where I'm like, you know, we got so much to grow. And so much wrong with taking the back streets that I'm not worried. You know, this, I would prepare for a longer video, for certain. No promises. But that's my expectation. We're up by a little. No need for brakes there. Good stuff. It's the jump that comes right after this. And also, don't touch the wall. Yeah, because I'm about to get passed by myself. But it's the jump that comes right after this that consistently screws me, and then smashing into the wall. So just keep it together. You're still, I mean, you're competitive with your previous self, which is not saying much, because that's like heavy bronze territory. Clip the wall slightly, but as long as you don't clip it there, you know we're setting the PB. Now, it's not a particularly impressive PB. 1 minute and 4 seconds. It takes us up to a silver. We moved up 2 positions, so no. I don't know, something about this track. I think this is a track where ghosts are going to benefit us a lot, you know? On some tracks, you want to Fleetwood Mac. You want to go your own way, unless you want to be secondhand news and break the chain of author medals we've gotten. But the rumors of this track, if they are true, say that we should not stop thinking about getting some more ghosts, you know? Because we can learn something from them. The thing is, players only love you when they're playing. Other Fleetwood Mac songs insert here later in post, please. Thank you. We've learned something for ourselves, but now the time has come. We're done with the Fleetwood Mac puns, by the way. or references. They're even a cut below puns. What we're learning, I think, is that speed, once you lose it on this track, is real hard to bring it back. So be very wary, like we did right there, of laying off the throttle. If you gotta do it to avoid getting hit, then you gotta do it to avoid getting hit. If you gotta do it because you entered that corner in the worst way possible, then you gotta do it because you entered that corner in the worst way possible. But if otherwise available, there you go. That's definitely, these are drift heavy corners. All right, we're starting to learn there. Cut another 3 seconds off. Pretty easily, quite frankly. The gold is at 59 seconds. What, we need to cut off like 2 seconds to get there. I think that's pretty easy. Maybe we'll start to iterate from that point onwards. And then we'll get some ghosts involved. I think I've settled into a good pattern. Too many ghosts early is not what I'm looking for. But there's no denying you can learn a lot from them. I did also learn, by the way, thank you to everybody who let me know, if you click on like the stopwatch, I still don't know where it is, but now I know what to look for at least. If you click on the stopwatch, you can turn on and off individual ghosts in a ghost pool. Very useful, because again, I mean no disrespect to the egg carton and its incredible bevy of world-class racers. But quite frankly, I don't need 300 ghosts every time we do the track. I could settle for like 293. Oh, we almost did it, Ruka. We almost made our dreams come true. But that's alright, because there's still like, I mean... I know I said 52 seconds was macros this time. I can't back that up now, because I'm like, this seems... I might have it right, I might have it wrong. Either way, there's no disrespect meant to macros in the process there, but there's definitely a lot of room for us to pull off this. I don't know if we can pull another, 10 seconds off, but... certainly. I mean, even this, considering we touched a wall and we're gonna finish maybe like a second and a half, hopefully, or more ahead of our previous self. No! Well, that was not greed, but let's call it deserved hubris. Oh, jeez. Someone in my Discord was saying as well that there is a there's a cut you can make on this one that saves some time. I'm not against the cuts, but it does raise the difficulty level for me. That's okay. You clipped it. You clipped it, and you should be sad about it because you didn't have to clip it. Make sure you can still make up some time, though. How do you make up some time? Keep those wheels straight as possible. Land like that. That did cause you a little skid, but that's okay. We're only a second back. And quite frankly, I think that we can make up for it. Look at how much speed old me lost here somehow. I don't... That's what I mean when I say like this... And then I lost even more speed coming around. But this is what I mean when I say that, like, the speed that you're going on this course, if you lose it, you've already lost. I think we're going to get beaten by our old self here. Maybe if you have the drift of the century. Okay, what are we at here? 13 minutes. Still pretty early. I mean, ideally, I'd kind of like to just, symbolically speaking, get the gold before we invite ghosts into this world. Just so that I have a foundational, demonstrable knowledge of the track, if that makes sense. And I'm definitely not just procrastinating going live today because we're playing the Dark Souls 2 DLC and I have no idea what genius at From Software designed it and thought that it was in any way a solid piece of content and that Trackmania is more enjoyable in every way, shape, or form right now. If you're a Dark Souls 2 stan, I apologize. I know Dark Souls 2 catches a lot of hate. Some of it is deserved, in my opinion, after playing it for the last 2.5 months. Some of it is undeserved. The DLC in the Frigid Outskirts is truly insane to me. That a human being would design that for the leisure of other people. So, I don't mean to pile on. However, points to picture of Vendrick. Is this your king? Okay, we got speed here. Now just don't screw it up. This is what, yeah, much better. Enter closer to the right side. So much better than usual. We clipped the wall. It's gonna be close. It's not gonna be close at all. Come on, man. It's a trickier course than I would have thought. Mostly because I think that this course, at least my perception right now, is that it rewards greed. I think it rewards greed. Or at least a tactical deployment of greed. So what if we stay on the outside, which allows us to more easily... Nope. Well, maybe it doesn't reward greed. Maybe it rewards speed. You want to start that corner a little later so that you can keep maximum speed going down here. Now here, certainly there's stuff to be worked on there. I'm embarrassed with myself. The dirt slows us down way more when you're already slow. Because we don't have that momentum. Keep those wheels straight, and then when you come over here, clip the wall and accomplish nothing of value. Alright, we're very close to turning the ghosts on. I'm just... what can I say? I'm stubborn. Probably shouldn't try to maximize the up... oh my god! Shouldn't try to maximize the time that we're on the uphill of that slope, but I really think that affects us by like 2/10, and what we're looking for is to try to improve by like 4 seconds. So let's not sweat the small stuff. It ain't all small stuff, but there's like a lot of small stuff. Okay, missed the dirt. Little too much time on the dirt from the outside there, but... straight wheels, decent landing. Into the corner, 1.4 seconds up. No brakes on that corner is going to help us out quite a lot. Now on this corner, as long as you don't hit the wall there, you're okay. We did have to slow down slightly to avoid that right curb. Slowed down slightly again, just to make sure that we're still cruising here. Landed smoothly. Very wide on the corner, but at least did pick up the gold. Okay. Oh my god. I mean, it is early today, but to be top 7 in British Columbia is a little surprising. Alright, let's turn some ghosts on. Eater of eggs. That's not gonna do it. So it seems like, you know, the second part of any Trackmania video, once you turn the ghosts on, is for validation and refactoring. Like, we've been validated that our principal idea here was pretty much right. Now here, super wrong. Super not correct. You can see there's some drifts in there. We lost quite a lot of time. Oh, what? Excuse me? Is such a thing possible? Enter on the right side of this one, on the right side of this one. That's okay, that's okay. Did that actually speed them up, or did it screw them? I don't know, dude. This actually might give us the speed required. No, we're ahead of somebody else. I see myself up there. But considering we touched the wall, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so we grip it and rip it through the start here. Oh, I like that drift. Now here, yeah, there you go. Much more around the outside. There's a nice little speed boost for you and yours. Lost a little by clipping the dirt. We can work on that in the future. Oh, I think that was just someone for real hitting the wall. I don't know if that's a shortcut. I know I said there was a shortcut, and that might be it, but probably warrants some investigation. Keep those wheels from skidding. Very acceptable through here. Hate the bounce. However, very smooth through that second section. I don't have a ghost to follow there. Cut another 1.5 seconds off. That feels nice. That feels nice. Top 33 in Canada. We're gonna... Well, we're the first of our ghosts here? Well, change opponents then. We'll play opponents from North America, please. That was a big improvement for us right there. Alright. By the way, can we look at this leaderboard? Canada, what are we doing here? Really? I have to catch up to 3 American drivers? They're wearing the stars and stripes like Apollo Creed and Rocky IV? Well, if you've ever seen Rocky IV, you know pride comes before the fall, brother. And then, but I mean, pride comes before the fall comes before the pride, I guess. Which in Rocky V comes before the fall, but then in Rocky Balboa is kind of like, is more pride again, but in like a more subdued way. And then Creed's like kind of fall, but it's also like kind of pride. But then Creed 2 is like, there's a fall, but then there's also some pride associated with it. It's basically an oral history of the Rocky films, if you're not familiar. They operate on a lose-win, lose-win, lose-win sort of protocol. Except for a while, they were like win-win-win, and everyone was like, ah, this isn't that good. Okay, good speed. I think that speed was fine. I still think that speed was fine. Lost a lot right there compared to my previous self. That's okay. I think I got guts that nobody else has on this section. I tend to make up some time here, although I'm being caught. It's alright. You can grip it and rip it slightly more there. I bet there's like 2/10 to glean. That seems bad. Oh, almost jumped the corner. Alright, try again. But I'm not really like Rocky. I think everybody sees themselves like Rocky. I don't really have an analog in the Rocky franchise, I think. I'm not like any of the villains from the Rocky films. I'm just sort of like... I'm just like a dude that like would watch the fights. I'd be like, yeah, go Rocky! That's my role in that ecosystem. Come on, grip. Hey, you gripped it, but you didn't rip it. You gripped it and slipped up. Okay. Now, I haven't even talked about the author medal today. Quite frankly, that's because just getting to the gold proved cumbersome. That's alright, that's us. We can stay. That's not us. What am I talking about? Lost a little. Lost less than usual. Okay, stay in there. Half a second back. This is where nobody else got the sack. Nobody else got the sack to take the dynamite line. I laid off the throttle there slightly. I apologize. And I did it again. Well, you know what? We're competitive with ourselves. That's the only thing that really matters right now. Skirt. Yeah, anyway, we'll worry about the author medal once we start to improve a little bit more. I do think the track is good. And a gold is something, but this is not where I want to be competitively, you know? Like, we're what? We haven't even gotten a British Columbia indicator? Well, I guess you don't get, like, a British Columbia indicator unless you're... I don't know when you get the regional indicators. I thought that it was... Like, the more specific a leaderboard position, the worse that position is. Like, 17th in BC is worse than 17th in North America. I know it's obvious, but I'm just saying it for myself. Because I'm like, if I do a little bit better, maybe I'll see how good I'm doing in British Columbia, but maybe we've already passed that threshold. This is where we slow it down too much. Okay, so maybe don't do that, but... Round the outside. Now that... Okay, no. That wasn't good, but I see what I did wrong. So we're going to stick tight here, and then we're going to exit more to the right than you'd expect before we pull it back, and with all that torque... Oh, baby. A subscriber. We're still there. We screwed it up badly. That's okay. Don't let your wheels touch the dirt for too long. The less time your wheels spend in the dirt, and God forbid, the less time they spend turned in the dirt, the happier we are. We're 24 minutes in here. Let me check my Disky for a moment here. Let's read some comments. 54 was Macros' time. 54.017. The final turn right after the big jump is so frustrating. Agreed. I don't like tracks this long and this technical. That's okay. Well, look, we're going to get there. I got a 53.6, but I think I'm going to have an aneurysm with this track. Between checkpoint 3 and checkpoint 4, you can cut left on the dirt path to get to checkpoint 4. Okay. So let's give that a look, shall we? So that's checkpoint 1. We're going slow because this is recon. It's definitely not because I made mistakes. It's checkpoint 2. This is checkpoint 3. You can go left on the dirt path to get to checkpoint 4. You're talking about like this right here? There's no way, right? Like yes, that is correct, but you gotta do like a 180 in the air without losing so much speed to have that be a negative. I don't know if I buy it, but I think we're starting our break too early on the drifts again. Yeah, thank you again for that tip. I mean, like, it genuinely might be it. I mean, we could try some. Let's go. That's the good stuff. We could try to do it, although on this run, I feel like I'm relatively good here. There we go. We kept more speed than usual. Although I did lose myself in the music the moment I wanted. You better never let it go. But I don't know. We're zipping. We're staying competitive here. I think we just give this one a shot. Then we got the yams on that one. That was better speed loss than usual there for me. No! Even Ruka looked at me there like, what are you doing, Dad? Good? Not good. Really? You know what? I might even drop a message in the Discord and say, do y'all, because I want to informalize it, do y'all really think that the shortcut is involved? I know we can improve just by driving better. So I'd prefer to not resort to, you know, becoming a conjurer of cheap tricks, as Gandalf would say. Frodo's alright, Sammy's alright, they just hold the little ring. Sauron, Sauron, they're coming to destroy your ring. You guys like Cheap Trick? They're okay. You may not know this, but maybe you're like, you're an indie snob like I am, and you're like, Cheap Trick, I hate them. Well, then you must hate Bob Pollard and Guided by Voices, because they're one of the major influences. Just listen to a song like Surrender, and then listen to a song like Teenage FBI, and tell me that there's not a shared lineage. Oh wait, you won't, unless you're a liar, because there is. I don't think that was a good drift, but we're in there. Now that, way better than usual for me, except for that little dip at the end. I don't fear that, though. He got mad weapons, too? Ain't trying to hear that. Again, better than usual by my standards. Bro. That's me! Oh, I hit the dirt. I wonder if he stayed slightly on the outside. If you'd be a little bit better off there. I don't know. I'm actually like... I do like the track. But I also do agree with my Discord, and not just because there's, you know, a bias for me to be incentivized to do that. I think that it's a little long for the amount of technique required here. And the other thing is, like, not just for leaderboard position, but like every turn is catastrophic, right? Like, even if you don't clip a wall, the amount of speed you lose by making a mistake costs you, like, way down the line. It's like compound interest. We really want to have the throttle down on the sand, I think. So you lose as little time as possible. Bro, why won't you put all-wheel drive in these things? They have all-wheel drive, again. I am just dumb. It's not to say it's a bad track. I think it's a fine track. My frustration is just... From a length times difficulty standpoint, I mean, this one is... This is a double black diamond right here. Now that's gonna hurt you. Still think we're hitting that brake too early, so you gotta Go into the turn and then you hit the drift. That's what we're looking for. It's less of like, you know, again, I never drifted in Trackmania prior to like maybe the very, very end of the Golden Goblet, so it's going to take some time. So you got to throw in a little turn, then you drift and you maintain a little bit more speed. Something like that. That's not bad for a practice run, I think. Seems totally fine. I see myself up there. Hanging tough, staying hungry. If we could find a better line there, I certainly think there is one. I almost think like I've got the speed necessary to do this. I don't, but I got real close. I got real close. I don't know. To be honest, we're like a half an hour deep. This is one where I'm like, it's a fun track, but I don't know if I got the author medal in me on this. Just seems like the time required to min-max is a little on the high side. Again, more of a my time constraint issue than a track issue. But don't give up, you know. Sometimes, as we saw yesterday, all you need to do is sometimes like one miracle run brings the whole thing together. Now that seemed horrible, and yet our speed being low has not crushed us yet. We're still in there. No! It's good. Stay tight. I will say that in the Discord, I just read more context, and it said the shortcut for today's track is interesting. This is from Walking Places. The shortcut on today's track is interesting. I don't know if it saves you time. My layperson feedback is that I think it doesn't. But again, I'm far from an expert on this subject. Yo, we got speed here. So does that guy. But so do we. So you want to exit closer to the apex. There you go. We want to stay further to the right on this one in the hopes that maybe you could not slow down as much as you did right there. I think I lost confidence and dipped on the throttle there. I don't know if I'd say that last section once, you know, was trying to give me an aneurysm, but I would say that I'm not an enormous fan of placing such a frustrating element right at the very end of the course. But you know, anytime you criticize anything on YouTube, you also have to criticize yourself. It's the rule of YouTube. Certainly, I must acknowledge that seemed like a good drift. Certainly, I must acknowledge we could also restart by checkpoint instead of and actually get some practice on it. Instead of you know, just waiting until the end over and over. You know what I would like to see in Trackmania? Like I'm gonna go completely to the other side of what you would expect. I would love to see... Nope. Oh, we're still in there, dude. That's gonna slow us down a bit. I would love to see the ability to select a checkpoint to start from. I don't know if that's... Maybe it's already in there. I've never looked, to be quite frank with you, but... Because, like, just driving to that checkpoint and then restarting, the problem is if you accidentally restart... Or if you accidentally breach a checkpoint's, like, collider, then you lose your position, right? Yeah, don't... Look at how much we lost just by very slightly touching the sand there. Then look at how much we gained by being the world's best Trackmania player. Imagine that. That was scary. I was frightened, I'm not gonna deny it. That seems smoother than usual by my standards. Just a complete mess at the end there. I guess this is where we're at in Trackmania now. I am like, you know, put me going upside down in the middle of like an unrolled hot dog, and I'm like, this is fine. Give me a slightly frustrating jump at the end of a 52-second stage, and I'm like, who hurt you? What went wrong? I'm like, I don't know. The author medal's like 53 seconds. That it's in the cards, but we'd have to like drastically bring it for sure. Even this first corner is annoying. I think it's a cool track, but and you know what? You can always, if you want to be critical on YouTube, you can always just say this: I'm a piece of garbage. It's better than anything I could ever make in my life. I can barely tie my shoes in the morning. That being said, does this rank in the top 5 of my daily courses so far? I would say the answer to that question is no. Let's see if anybody else has said anything else today. 54.07. Great track, but I'm done. Macros, I mean, I gotta say, it's not the best time in the egg carton, but that's a really impressive time. Because I look at you and me as having very similar sort of driver skill sets. And you have done more with less than I have today. I wonder if you could just clip the corner, but not actually clip the sand. What are we back by? Half a second? There's definitely like at least 2 seconds to pull from on this course. I don't know if we're gonna do it. It would involve like, you know what? I think I've got an idea, and if it saves us a couple of seconds, we might be in, you know, grind territory. What if, instead of slamming on the brakes or letting off the throttle when you exit that concrete section, you do a little skid on the dirt so that you don't have to? That's basically all I got. Now, ignore the sand. See, that we gained a decent chunk of speed, or rather, lost less. Like a FLAC music file, we lost less there. Me and me, close together. Me and me, we're driving close together. You know what that's No Doubt? Don't speed, I know what you're thinking. So I actually executed my plan exactly the way I wanted to there. A little bit frustrated by the fact that, you know, your wheels don't touch the ground after that, so your brakes don't work, but haha. You got me. Tomo, who made this course, dude? Like, why is it all 90-degree curves? I know you're like, a curve can't be 90 degrees. Some of them are. Like, look at this right here. These are sidewinders, but they got 90-degree bends on them. Who will hurt you? This is like H.P. Lovecraft's crawl space. What does that mean? It means that there's all sorts of sharp angles that are mixed with curves. It doesn't feel right for the human brain. You've willingly designed Monaco, which makes no sense. Now that cost us a ton. However, by not clipping the sand, I think we can make up some time. That's not good at all. Oh my god, we're like 1.2 seconds back. What's wrong with me? Okay, now this is where we can make up our time, though. You gun it. There you go. You turn into the turn instead of during the turn. It's just like, I mean, so here's the flowchart, okay? I can't turn with the speed that I need to turn after hitting the ground there, because my wheels are in the air. So how do we get our wheels to not be in the air? You air brake so that you land flush. If you air brake when you land flush, you carry way more speed, which is a bit of an adjustment period in and of itself. So it's not even that I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's that I know what to do, but it's teeing me off right now. You know what I mean? It's ticking me off. Now this is good. Again, that was not a good drift. But it's good enough for us to not be too devastating. Now, that's an incredible speed loss, but we're still up momentarily. Temporarily. And I can keep pace with my old self here, because I know that we improve on our old self just by doing that. And the effects of it have not even been seen yet. You hit the ground. I don't know, I kind of feel like your wheels are destined to bounce there no matter what, just because you're kind of landing like flush, but from an angle. Which might be an expression that makes no sense. That last section, all I can say is if you're watching this and you're like, just do it like blah, you don't get it, okay? You just don't get it. Do today's track of the day. Perhaps you will, but this, oh my. I would say this is one of the tracks that, without a doubt, I've struggled with the most. In case that's not abundantly clear. Now, we're still getting I mean, we got a gold real early. And we can always get more reps in. I hate it. If we could just sort out, maybe that, let's look at it the positive instead of the negative, right? If we could just sort out that final section, I really think there's 2 seconds in it for us. Everything prior to that, we make mistakes from time to time, don't get me wrong. But everything prior to that, I think we pretty much got, we got like at least a C+ level of acumen. Like we're usually up here, right here. We lose a little bit there, especially when we do a catastrophic loop. Maybe we should follow, follow in the stars and stripes. Saying the phrase is like ashes in my mouth, but if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. You try to avoid the sand a little bit. Mission kind of succeeded. You're turning on this, so oh my god, that's way too much! It's alright, grip it, rip it, don't let it slip it. Because I think we get a second back after this. We're going to be about a second back to begin with, but there you go, and you kept the wheels pretty straight. We're catching up to ourselves. You know what? I think we have it. I think you land. Well, that was something. Yeah, I think you land and don't turn immediately. I think you land, go straight, and then try to maybe throw in a drift. Or at least, you know, a break into a corner, which is not technically a drift, but... Oh, no, dude. The irony was, until we hit the sand, I think that drift was pretty good. But I will say, I think, you know, in true Ted Danson from the Good Place fashion, the problem with this track is me. I think, maybe just don't turn too much. There you go. Kept some speed into this. I think that there is... The problem with the track is the track, okay? I do sometimes slip into what I would call Apollo speak. Where when you hit one too many frustrating elements on a course, you start to go like... You know, you cast aspersions onto the level creator. I don't think there's anything wrong with making something difficult, you know? This is not a troll level. It's not like a quote-unquote meme level. It's just difficult. Yo, that was great. And now that I recognize... Are you kidding me, dude? Now that I recognize the problem comes from within. We can take some deep breaths and lower our blood pressure and acknowledge that I have some skills that other gamers don't. Rarely do those manifest in physical play. However, or mechanical play is maybe a better way to say it. However, I have tenacity and, believe it or not, an ability to avoid frustration that a lot of people find enviable. So we lower the blood pressure, we lower the heart rate. Enter that corner nicely. Don't turn immediately. Stay tight on this one. Haven't been here in a while. And it shows. We were so in there too. That was a great course until I got a little flabbergasted or flustered at the last section. So what did I learn? Well, I learned that, like, I really should probably record something else today before I run out of time prior to Dark Souls, but I learned there's room for us to grow on this one. This is not the greatest course for... Let me put it this way. I think there are courses that benefit me more than Mouth. I think there are courses that benefit Mouth more than me. Without the slightest hint of salt in my blood, this one benefits Mouth more than me. Because I think if you're... And I don't want to say if you've got the time, because that's not fair. If you're willing to put in the time, like an hour and a half, 2 hours on this course... I think that there's a lot of meat left on this chicken wing. It's not that I'm busier than Mouth, I just allocate my time in a different way. Occupationally speaking. So this makes it a little tougher for me today. With no hard feelings whatsoever. This is a Mouth course. This is a 3-course meal. When sometimes I'm like, it could really just go for a snack. This is the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Lost more on that than I'd like to, but my old self does super well up until the actual, like, jump section at the very end. And in that section, they're just an absolute disaster. Like, I might still be able to catch up to me. Why am I following the taillights of my own ghost when I know that my own ghost sucks here? Okay. I don't know. What are we at? 56.8? I bet we can roll a 56. It might take more time than I'd like to, but... I do have to say, just being honest, like, I think the track is good, but this has probably been... Along with the one where you went underwater... in that tunnel with all the 90-degree turns required. This is probably the most frustrating track of the day for me. But I still had fun. It's the thing. Even when Trackmania is getting you down. I mean, I'm not getting down because of the game. I'm getting down because of my placement relative to my peers today, which I think is a little bit lower than I'd like. But we have had some beautiful runs towards the end here. Let me put it this way. I gauge the temperature of the Discord. Today has a very high percentage of people saying, whatever, I give up. Now, usually, admittedly, they are giving up with a score that's much better than mine. However, this is not one where people are like, oh boy, maybe I'll come back to it later. People are like, I'm done. 52. Well, no one's hitting 52, but you get the... In principle, you get the idea. No. Very nice. Very nice. Rucario is speaking my language right now. Every time I get a new and good split, I F it up in innovative ways. That's how I feel right here. I'm like, when I nail the start of the course, I'm a little gun shy at the end. When I nail the end of the course, it's not enough to catch up because the start of the course was bad for me. Now this, you have my attention. You got my attention on this one. You got my attention on this one. Hold it together. Little conservative, but not bad. Didn't touch the wall. Now take this corner more to the outside of where you think you need to. Dude, okay. That's what we're going to finish on a positive note. Getting down to 55.8, 55.6. That's pretty good. Take me out because I actually do want to see. That was like I needed a win at the end of this episode to bring me back. But let's see how we're doing regionally. Top 4 BC for now. I can live with that. 51! Oh my god. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, and I'll be back tomorrow. See ya!